Tolo, one of the two. So knowing your status is very important, and living a healthier after, after knowing your status is also more important. Can you please briefly, share with the audience how many times or how long did it take you to find out that you were HIV positive, and how was it? How did you accept it, and what helped you to be where you are, to be comfortable speaking about it, and also encouraging others to know about their status?
Before you get to know something about yourself, one always have inner instincts. So I went for my tests not so long ago, and yes, they came out positive. And before that, I was going for my psychological sessions, and before actually I was given my results, my doctor actually asked me, what would I do if my results came out positive? And my answer was, the first thing I would love to do is start my treatment immediately, because whatever that I've been through has pushed me to come up this far. And I decided to take my treatment the same day, because I believe that I have a bright future ahead. And I realized that knowing my status has been the best thing ever. Unlike being yourself and not knowing where you stand in life. So knowing your status is the most important thing one should know in this life, because you will never know who you meet or who you have met. So, and then talking about it has been easy, because I believe that talking is part of healing. So I've spoke about it, and the more I've spoke about it, the more I have come to accept myself, who I am, and who am I, who I'm about to become in the near future.
Most definitely, and I think it is also quite important for all individuals, including myself, to know our status time and again. So I do checks at least 4 times a year. Every quarter, I make sure that if I go to a hospital or I'm going to see my doctor or do anything, I will also take an opportunity to know my status. It helps because it will, allow you to know where you stand, what you need to do, earlier before things can get out of hands. But tonight, if you want to join the conversation, by the way, my name is Alex Malapane, and I'm the host for Trends Africa. We talk all things business, social, politics, and trends. And tonight we're speaking on the public discourse regarding a life with possibilities. We are engaged with Kgomotsego or Ms Tolo, who is sharing her journey after knowing a status about HIV. And our sub-theme is know your status and live healthier after. So if you have a question to join, just tweet it on just hashtag Trends Africa and tweet it to Alex Malapane on Twitter or on WhatsApp. You can join us on 081-844-2816, and I will read your questions live for our guest. Now, going to the experience, how has been the experience, the support from the parents, the friends, and the associates? How have you taken this, and how have they accepted you? Were there any some form of discomfort, maybe from where you come from, maybe your siblings? How did they receive you, and how did you manage to ensure that you tell them about the status?
When you tell people that you have this certain virus, they tend to feel pitiful for you, because I believe that it has been here for years, and it has been instilled in us that this thing is a death sentence. So I had my fair share of rejections, and I had always knew that some people will reject me, some people will accept me. So my mother passed away 7 years ago. She would have probably been the first person to know. So I actually told my brother, and he accepted me for who I am, because the most important thing is that I'm not bedridden. I can do anything for myself, and I'm very healthy. So it's okay to speak out, but always expect the unexpected, always expect rejections, always expect being spoken about, always expect being judged about, but always look on the brighter side. People will always be there to talk, to reject you, and to judge you. So the most important thing to do is to love yourself. I mean, you are the most person that you need. I need myself more. So if I let people bring me down, then this is where I myself end.
Most certainly. And I think some of the key lessons that we learn from the virus is that many people don't know that you can live with it, and it's then the life will still be normal. It's just that you will be having a positive status. Tell us, or maybe can you share with us the importance of taking medication, making sure that you do your routine checks, you go to clinic or hospital or your doctor to do follow-ups. What is the most important thing to do, especially when you find out that you're HIV positive?
The most important thing to do is to accept yourself. I've read somewhere where it says the most difficult relationship one can be in is with yourself, because no matter what you do, any wrong that you do, you will end up forgiving yourself. You will have to forgive yourself, and you won't have any choice to forgive yourself. So the step to healing, the first step to healing is forgiving yourself in whatever you've done, whatever you've been through. So I would advise one to firstly take their treatments, and then seek counseling if they really need it. So going on your checkups is really important, because you get to know if your system is really adhering to the treatment or not, where you need to boost your immune system, what you need to do, a lot of things. So also skipping your appointment means skipping your treatment. So it's important to always be on time for your treatments, your appointments, and always be up to date with what's happening with your health.
Very, very, very true. And I'm very, very happy that you mentioned that accepting yourself is one of the most important component in the whole process. Because I think many people, once they find out that they're HIV positive, they don't want to actually accept the status and accept themselves that they are really, really positive, and they will require a certain change in routine. They will have to get introduced to chronic medication, or anything that has to do with that process. And I have to reiterate that a friend or a family member with HIV AIDS status remains a friend to me and a family member. So we need to also deal with the issue of stigmatization and make sure that those who are stigmatizing, they have to face the consequences of the law, because the provision of South Africa is against discrimination, more especially to people living with disability. They are still our sisters, they are still our brothers, they are still our family, and we are all to love them and accept them as they are. So tell us about stigma. Those who have heard about your status, more especially either at school or even on social media, because we've got too much bullying on social media, where people talk about things in a wrong way. Some people even misunderstand and start bullying others and all that. How has been the stigma, and how did you handle it?
The stigma hasn't been that much, but I've had people talking whatever they wanted to talk. And when someone says something bad, you don't have to step down to their level. You just have to just let them be, because a lot of people lack education, or rather maybe we chose to be ignorant. So I'm one person that's very quiet when someone says something bad to me. So like I said, people will always be there to talk, people will always be there to judge. So such things, you don't have to really respond to them. You just let them be, let them talk. Rather, educate them about the knowledge that you know, instead of standing up to their level. So I'm the person, I would rather teach than return the revenge.
Most certainly. We have a comment here, or a question. I'm not sure if it's a comment. The person wants to remain anonymous, which is okay. They want to know, have you joined a support group for people living with the virus? And if you have joined, have you found it helpful, more especially in making sure that it encourages you to face each day?
There's actually a WhatsApp group I'm in. It's just a WhatsApp group. It's everyone from different countries actually. We actually talk about issues there, but my dream is to have my own support group to help those who can't help themselves. So that's my dream.
And what will you take, or what resources do you need to start that group? Do you want a group where either it's an online platform, or you want a support group where you can sit face to face with those who are living with the same, who are living with the virus, to share the experience and also to encourage one another? What kind of group or support are you looking for?
Currently with the pandemic going on, we would opt for an online support group, because HIV positive people might be vulnerable to the COVID-19 virus also. So we'd rather be safe than sorry. So until it all ends, I've planned a camp. Not only will it accommodate HIV positive people, we have people living with depression, we have people living with other chronic diseases, and it would really be nice to be surrounded by people who are in the same situation, or rather almost the same situation with you. Yes.
Most certainly, and I think it's going to be actually one of those great opportunities to also share with other people who are affected or who are also HIV positive, to share your experience, to network, and also talk about life, because I think depression can kick in when you are sitting alone and thinking about the virus. Ladies and gentlemen, you can join the conversation by sending your questions or comment on WhatsApp. I will repeat the number. It's 0818442816. It's on the screen if you have joined on your mobile or on your laptop. You can also tweet me at Alex Malapane or #TransAfrica so that I can pick up your comment or your question. Moving along, I want us to talk about the opportunities, because I think many people think when you are positive, it's the end of the world. You can even start drafting your will because you can die at any given time, and that's a very misinterpreted statement or interpreted point of view. There are so many opportunities that are out there. You also mentioned that you are studying and you have aspiration to become a professional one day. what encouragement can you give to people who are about to give up, who think, you know, they are done with this life because they just found out about the status of HIV and AIDS, or they are actually HIV and AIDS positive? So what can you say to them, and how can you encourage them to keep focusing, read, study, go for the next, the next qualification if they have one already, and continue going up in their corporate ladder or their career ladder?
You know, I once watched something that said you can have the virus but you can wake up tomorrow and get hit by a bus. So we are not guaranteed what will actually end your life tomorrow. So my advice is live your best life. Do all the things that you wanted to do before you found out. Live your dreams, make your dreams come true, and strive to be the person that you've always wanted to be. Don't let it stop you. Just be who you were before. You are just on a different journey. I believe that we are all in a situation whereby God just wanted our attention, and this is the time. So you just have to be yourself, do what you always wanted to do, achieve your goals, live your life, because you will never know what might happen tomorrow. And it's not always the case that it will be the case for your death. So you have to live your life like there's no tomorrow. Live your dreams, make your dreams come true. Apply for your dream jobs, apply for your dream course that you've always wanted to go for. And life goes on.
Crystal, please, you know, there's a comment here from the same person, I think, because it's also still saying anonymous. I must keep anonymous. So the question is, when you realized that you were HIV positive, did you have some suicidal thoughts at any given time?
No, I didn't, because you know, I decided that the only way to overcome anything is to feel the pain that I felt back then, that I should feel it until I couldn't feel it anymore. If there's a need for you to cry, just cry, let it out. Even if it's every day, let it out. Cry, feel the pain, allow yourself to feel the pain. Pain demands to be felt. So allow yourself to feel the pain, and eventually everything takes time to heal. So eventually, one will heal. So you don't have to rush yourself into accepting yourself or healing.
Crystal clear, and I must say that it takes boldness for one to arrive at that particular, stance. And like you said previously, that accepting the virus first, it's the first step that everybody should strive to, because before you can even start thinking about either being suicidal or depressed or anything, if you haven't accepted that you have the status or you are HIV positive, it could be a problem. I want to open a space for my other guests who are here, who will want to speak or raise a question. If you are there, just raise your hand and I should be able to notice you, and then you ask your question, or you comment, or you give message of support. I'm in conversation, colleagues, with Kgomotsego Tolo, who is a person living with HIV. She's HIV positive and she's alive with possibilities. Knowing your status is very important so that you can live healthier after. There's a hand from Tando Masanabo. Tando, can you have your question or your comment, please?
Good evening, everyone. I hope everybody's well. My comment is, this conversation is very close to my heart, because as a young person, like somebody who was born in the 90s as well, while we are living our lives, dating and everything, it just happened that one of my friends also contracted the virus. And it was very sad And it's something that she did not disclose to people outside her family. Yeah, well, like it was kept as like a family secret. So with that, I think it also built up is inside of her that she has to accept the virus. And after that, you know, and sometimes your health does not give you time to accept. Like as soon as you find out, you have to get on your medication so that you can stay healthy and fight the virus in order to maintain your health. And I guess it being a secret and us not knowing, it ate her inside. Ukuba, why must I always be taking pills? Why must I always, you know? Because also when you are young and we're dating, we're meeting new people, it's university, then it's after, and then we have to live our lives in corporate world, you're meeting people. And I guess to her, it felt like also introducing herself to a new person, always having to tell maybe someone, Uguti, I have this virus. You know, it was hard on her until she stopped, you know. When she was sick, she just told me she's not feeling well. She has ulcer, you know, she started to lose weight. You know, it was when she died that's when her parents told us the truth. Yeah, well. And I kind of felt bad because I always felt like we are friends that can talk about anything, you know, whereby, and I don't think Uguti, I've ever said, or we as a group of friends have ever said anything bad about people who are HIV positive, that she would want to think we will laugh at her or stigmatize her. You know, I so wish she would have shared her feelings, told us, so that we were able to support her, love her, you know, so that she knows that she's enough. That a virus is just something that you're going to live with, yes, but it does not stop your life. You can, like, just as Kgomotsego, you know, be alive with possibilities, chase your dreams, you know, it does not make you invalid, you know. So I really applaud what Kgomotsego is going through. I know I just came in, but I really, because it's not everyone, you know. Many people who are young, they just can't believe Uguti they have the virus. They feel like the virus, you know, people who are old. So when it contacts them, bamakala, and they start to feel ashamed again, thinking also, you know, like, why does it have to happen to me? So I really feel like this conversation should really broaden up so that people can feel okay. We must not also stigmatize people who are HIV positive, love them, support them also. And also something that we've never, you know, the importance of just when you meet a partner, testing, and also having this conversation is very important for us to be open about it. Yeah, thank you, Alex.
No, you're welcome. And I must say that, I mean, having a perspective from that angle really helps because we also have where we come from, our family members, members of the community where we come from, our colleagues are also having this challenge, or they are actually, their status is positive. And many of them, they live in fear of the unknown. If I say this, what do people say? Some of them, they even stop, you know, dating, or even, you know, rejecting everyone around them because they feel if they say something, maybe the partner will go. But I'm saying, I encourage everybody to, you know, to speak about this. It's a therapist form of healing when you talk about the virus and you accept it, you discuss it with the close friends you have and your family so that they can understand when you need to take your medication. They can even remind you to take them when you've forgotten them. And also they can assist, you know, in making sure that they are there for you and give you that love. Again, you can send your comments on Twitter and hashtag TransAfrica, or tag me at Alex Malapane. I've got a few questions that are popping up here. I'm not going to mention names because I think everybody's so scared. They are all saying anonymous, but there's something that came on my WhatsApp. They're saying testing is the only way to know that you are HIV positive. After testing, did you tell your partner, or did you find out who infected you? And the person wrote in brackets, please do not mention the name of the person. So I think The question is simply to know, to find out, were you able to trace where you got the virus? Were you born with the virus? Or where did you get the virus from? And I'm cautioning also, because it's a very, very intense question that can be emotional. Please, you don't have to answer Kgomotsego. If you don't want to explain that, you can just mention to me and then we will pass.
It's okay. I know it came from, but that was long before I met that person. And he was actually the first person to know after I found out. And yeah, opening up to someone, you get to know who's for you and who's not for you. So that's also the most important thing about opening up about your status. So you know who's supposed to be there in your life and who's not supposed to be there in your life. So in that process, one should learn to excuse themselves when you go through such things whereby a person does not want anything to do with you. So that's what I learned through the process also. But he chose to stay, and yes, he's still there, and things are just normal.
Now that's quite very, very encouraging, and I think I must applaud that maturity sometimes bring forth, good stuff, and this is one of those things that, if you are able to confide in your partner and they accept you for who you are, and anything that comes with it's really encouraging. And it's also, I must say that when I was reading some stuff, more especially from WHO, World Health Organization, where they talk about the stats about the number of people that die from HIV, diabetics, any other related, sickness or sicknesses that are there. And I picked up a number of things that, HIV is one of those sicknesses that affect everybody. It does not have, an age target group that people are either dying from that level. It's across the value chain. So it is very important for us to talk about these things, to encourage people to test, to encourage people to take their medication, to encourage people to follow those, health routine programs that are specifically meant or are developed for people who are living with the virus. And I must also say that, most of the time when we find out, especially when we're growing up, we were only told the bad side of things about HIV, and we felt it's the end of the world. And the media itself also played a negative role, because if you look at the adverts from TV, when they start talking about life insurances and all that, they start advertising it and all that, it becomes a very scary picture. So Kgomotsego, what can you actually advise us in closing this conversation? What can you advise us, more especially because the media takes this thing out of proportion? Even those that are doing marketing for live covers and everything, they also, misquote and say it in different terms and different ways. So how can you say, and what's your input regarding that process?
Actually, I did a course last week, and Africa is said to be the most continent with infected people, and the youth is the majority, and women. So I actually felt discouraged that there's no one to blame actually. So my advice is that people should, get to know their status, test, and take their treatment, do the things that they used to do before, live their life, be happy, love themselves. This is a journey, an adventure where we learn a lot of new things, where one gets to learn their inner hidden strength. I always say that my own strength scares me because I never thought I'd be this strong, or I never thought I'd get this far. So always put yourself, be selfish, love yourself, be selfish with yourself. Do not listen to what people say. Put the bad, positive or bad vibes aside. Bad vibes aside, the negative stuff aside. Motivate yourself, always tell yourself that I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna live, and I'm gonna be happy, regardless of what people say. We all go through bad stuff, and it's part of life. It's a process of life. So you don't have to punish yourself for things that you don't have control over. Life goes on. The most important thing one could ever do is love themselves and be selfish with your feelings. That's where it all starts. And most importantly, don't forget to forgive yourself. That's where your healing starts.
Most precisely. Thank you so much, Kgomotsego. It has been lovely to converse with you for the past almost 35 minutes. And I wish you all success in your academic studies and also in the future prospect that you have. And I'm looking forward to have you, trained as an activist who's going to fight for people who are living with this virus, and also to see to it that people know about this. The media does not mislead us, and the stuff that comes out from media, television, whatever, any platform that comes out is accurate, and people get to know what need to be done with the virus. Ladies and gentlemen, we came to the end of our session today. Our next session will be next week on Wednesday. We're talking all things 4IR, which is the fourth industrial revolution. I've got power-packed speakers from abroad. Three gentlemen who are going to be talking to us about technology, about the future of work, about the future of workplace environment, more especially during and post COVID-19. And I invite you to join us again next week on Wednesday. To my guest, Kgomotsego, thank you so much. Thank you so much, colleagues, for joining in. Those who contributed, send your tweets, your inboxes, your DMs, and your WhatsApps. Thank you so much for joining us. Let's do this again on Wednesday, this time around, looking at the fourth industrial revolution. My name is Alex, and I'm your host. Meet you again, same time, same place, next week, Wednesday. God bless.